And it's good protection for the Lina as well, yeah. Very good call. Is an amazing lifestealer game. He doesn't die in this game in particular, and is one of those heroes that can actually stand his ground against the Mars Rubik lane. You need a couple of levels, level 3, 2 points in Feast, most likely, but having the Lich, that should be good enough for you. And also, you know, lifestealer sometimes struggles to physical damage in the early stages of the game, so laning with the Lich is something that the hero naturally likes to do, not necessarily against the Mars and the Rubik, but overall. So yeah, definitely a nice pick. Plus another save for the Lina. Lina is gonna be the target here, and if you make sure that she doesn't die before the BKB, and lifestealer can do that, that's gonna be a really big thing.
So I think now for EHOME, you need to be looking towards potentially the Faceless Void getting banned out, and I think the Morphling as well. It is difficult though because GeekFam have the 23rd, so definitely those carries could be addressed with the last pick, and we're still yet to see the offlaner for EHOME for Xiao Yu, but those are definitely some of the better carry matchups against the Lifestealer.
I think you ban out the good carry matchups against the lifestealer. You don't really care if you're Geek Fam that you might get countered directly, because you are set up to do well in the lanes. So there is going to be space for that hero. You're going to win the lanes. Early mid game is pretty solid for you because of the Tusk, because of the Enchantress. So you just want a stable carry that will be able to fight the lifestealer and the Lina later on. And Drow actually does make sense. You are protected. The jump from EHOME is very limited. You do a lot of damage to these heroes. Even the Lich Frost Shield isn't that big of an issue for a Drow. Of course, it reduces your damage, but the Drow output on one target is just super high. So I like this. But it's very important for Geek Fam to do well in the lanes. It's of the utmost importance. So they can't drop the ball. If they drop the ball in the laning phase, it's going to be a problem.
Well, they've got plenty of time to be able to address this though with Xiao Yu's hero. You're speaking a lot of importance on Geek Fam's lane, so what can they look to go for here for the position 3 to really put a big dent in the safe lane on Geek Fam?
You need to punish an Enchantress Drow lane, and you have a tiny position 4. This is a very tough one. You know, naturally Tusk is good against the Drow, but it's the enemies that have it. Is the Primal Beast in the pool, but the Drow, you get an early level in the Silence. It's not that big of a deal. Not an easy approach for EHOME by any means.
I'm trying to rack my brain on what hero they can pick up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the heroes. Not looking the greatest for sure. You can go for maybe like a Timber. Timber seems like a good one. It's a natural counter to the Drow, or maybe like a Dragonite. Those are the two that come to mind. Super tanky. Don't care about the marksmanship later on down the line because you have bonus armor. Yeah, I'd like to see one of those two. Timber probably a bit more.
I don't mind the DK. I think a bit of an issue with EHOME is just how they start fights. A lot of it's on the back of the Tiny to get that initiation. I think actually even Force has been the one that's been playing a couple of Dragonite games so far through the group stages.
I mean, any of those heroes you can leave alone, but they go for the Marcy. Okay, so they go for a different route. It's not going to be a tanky hero, but they're thinking about the jumping onto the Drow Ranger. This is not about the laning stage. This is about the later portions of the game where Lina will stand her ground. A Lifestealer will protect the Lina, and Marcy with the BKB just runs into the Drow. So there are going to be needing some multiple Force Staffs. Enchantress gets a Force, Rubik gets a Shard, and Drow Ranger has the Force of her own. Should be enough to get away from the Marcy, but we'll see. I'm okay with this approach for EHOME. I maybe would have liked Timber DK better because you can leave them alone in the lane, and with an EHOME lineup, you want to play around the Lina. She's gonna win the lane, and then you have a tiny Lich around that one. You get multiple kills, you get the advantage in the game, and you don't care that you lost the side lanes. Now you are putting a bit more emphasis into the later portions of the game, and that's why I think Geek Fam have a little bit of an advantage here, just because of the side lanes. They could overtake this game quite easily, but yeah, drafts are very, very equal right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to that first rotation from Geek Fam, and if they can kick out the Lifestealer. this is a hero who your game is completely revolved around. The early game is revolved around how long you can stay in your lane. You're a self-sufficient laner that wants to, you don't jungle very fast, you play that lane, look to keep the tower alive as long as possible. And I'd really like to see GeekFam actually bring the Drow Ranger down at a relatively early timing. I'd probably say, I don't think you can do it before the second catapult timing. Maybe potentially they feel strong enough with if they get a nice power rune, they could bring him down. But I think we're looking at that 10-minute timing, bring the Drow, get the tower, kick the life stealer into the jungle. If they can do it earlier, then even better. But you really need to put him in the jungle as early as possible.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But again, it comes down to Geek Fam side lanes. Their side lanes need to go well. Mid lane Tusk needs to survive, do okay. And then once you get the rune, not going to be the easiest. Rubik and the Enchantress do not contest the rune as good as the Tiny. But you get like 8-minute, 10-minute rune on Cox. I think that's kind of gonna be the call for Skemp to go forward. So it's gonna be very cool to see if Geek Fam can make it happen, because it does need a lot of coordination for them to do what you mentioned, to get the Lightstealer out of the lane, secure that tower, but they also would be quite happy to do it. So everything is going to be revolving around that one. EHOME trying to force things out in the mid lane, and Geek Fam trying to force things out in the top lane.
Oh, let's play some Dota indeed. Unpause and we're ready to go. The game 1, second series of the night, the second and final series. Upper bracket semi-finals. Who is going to be able to move on and face the beautiful boys and Army Geniuses in that upper bracket finals? It's a matchup that, like you said, we've seen very recently. It was EHOME that were able to come out on top in that best of 2, and they won it in 2-0 fashion. Let's see if they're going to be able to repeat that recent success. And this wraparound smoke from Geek Fam, though, might catch him off guard. MKS, not an easy kill, though. Could force the rage level up. Probably really the worst person to run into.
Lightstealer has good turn rate and very high movement speed. They're very hard to connect with the shards early on.
30 seconds to battle.
They just revealed their ward. I didn't really saw where LW was standing there, but I think they just revealed that they have a ward on the high ground.
Oh, maybe not. I guess with Rogers, well, they should know now. It's a battle of who gets the who gets the D ward.
But I think he saw that that the Lich plays the ward as well, so GeekFam are gonna want to stay in the area and get that one down as well.
The battle begins.
Looks like it will be a 3-for-1. So EHOME.
Yep.
Nice start. A little bit of an advantage. Nothing crazy. Did they get the D ward? Rogers playing with a sentry, but no, they didn't. So, all right.
They weren't paying attention because they saw the Lich coming over. They were like, okay, he just wants to deward, and they didn't see that he placed vision of his own. I don't even know if he wanted to. For me, it seemed like he made a mistake placing a ward, and then he went for the sentry as well. In the end, though, the ward will persist, and you can see what they're. If it was on purpose, you can see what they're trying to do. Protect the Lina. Give everything to this Lina. She'll do well in the lane. And then the rotations of the Tiny are something that should take her up to another level. And again, 3 runes for EHOME, you know, not a big deal in most scenarios, but Cox, he would like that bottle super early. Now that's gonna be a bit harder.
Yeah, you're really gonna need that kind of sustain in a lane like this. Very, very difficult matchup. Lina's going to have a big advantage, often to a lot of heroes, though. This is, of course, a big reason why EHOME can just first phase it and feel comfortable. And it's something that they've had a lot of success on, though. I do want to mention, there's also been games where Knight has fed a lot of unnecessary deaths. So I really feel like it just comes down to kind of what Knight we're getting in this game in particular, because I've seen him pop off on the Lina, and then I've seen just, yeah, again, games where he's given over some unnecessary kills.
It can happen. Against the Tusk, it can happen in particular. Playing against the Tusk, you're playing against the Mars. One bad move and you're just gone. The save from EHOME, though, it is there this game. And this is the thing, that with the Lina, they did win against Geek Fam 2 times. One of those was against the Tusk as well. So Knight knows what he's up against, but as you mentioned, it still didn't stop him from giving away some of unnecessary kills.
Now, how does this dynamic kind of shape up bottom lane? As we see Roger also put a point in the Nature's attendance. But yeah, how does the double range shape up versus the double melee?
You consistently have to run towards them. That's the thing. You need to make sure that the Marcy is low so that she can never commit onto the Drow. If they get into your face, into Drow's face, and you are like 100% HP on every single hero, Drow is not going to be happy about it. So that's why both Skem and Roger are applying so much pressure.
I'd say somehow Skem was tossed under the tower. And Zhao... What?
You were too noisy to live.
Yep. Well, you wanted to apply a little bit too much pressure. You didn't respect the dispose. You just died. You know, that's the thing. Shouldn't really happen, but Skem makes a mistake. Uncharacteristic for sure.
All right, we'll see how much it's going to impact their lane now. First blood gold given over to Xiao Yu, so Wraithband's going to come out for the Marcy. Phase boots queued up next as well, so there's going to be a very early timing on the boots to be able to help kind of chase down these squishy ranged heroes.
Prancing our enemy to death.
All about armor. Wraithband is just OP right now, so that's what you want to get. I think this first blood is something that you didn't want to happen, but you still need the tiny, like, level 2, 3 to be able to just go straight up into 2 of these heroes.
See, hopefully him pulling this bottom wave should be able to get him some experience behind the tower if they want to give him it solo. Like you said, once we're able to find those levels, definitely could look to try and get some kills. As we take a look at our other side lane, how it's shaping up at the moment. MKS is very much struggling through the first couple of waves.
Lifestealer's strength comes down to you being able to commit onto the opponents. With only level 1 in Feast, you need a lot of time to heal up. And Rubik and the Mars, we already talked about it. This is a very strong lane. Plus, Mars is one of the best heroes to CS with, so it is natural that MKS is struggling. He did go for 2 points in Ghoul Frenzy. Okay, I don't like it. I actually think that this is gonna hurt him.
That should help.
Just the important thing, at least he's able to find his levels though. And once you get those levels on the lifesteal, lane gets a lot easier. Early on, you don't really have the potential to be able to kind of zone out. Like you said, Mars, very easy to CS, and it's going to be kind of the... I wonder if Force what he's going to actually look to itemize if he goes for some regen item to help play this lane, because of course MKS can sustain very easily as Xiao Yu gets another solo kill. What is going... What?
Geek Fam are like, yeah, we this Marcy's so cute. Let's get a little bit closer to her than you should. And we all know that this is not a cute character. She can be very, very nasty, and showing it twice there. So mistakes, just mistakes being made. It's the Marcy getting solo kills while Tiny, the only thing he's doing is just pulling the waves to the side.
Oh, nicely done. Great move from Salad. He's able to stop Cox from getting that water rune. They do still control at least one top from Narman rotating as well. So Cox going to be getting a lot of assistance from the supports at TP in from the Enchantress to refill the bottle, and then also trying to secure one of them. So, of course, very important against this Lina. And, you know, we're seeing 27-4 compared to the 23-1. So, you know, it's not even like Cox is off to a rough start.
Top lane, MKS and Force are
Might be bottom lane, actually. Skem, yeah, he's going to go down. Salad was able to find the avenue to land that avalanche. Roger will trade his life, though, but second death onto Skem's Drow Ranger. But importantly, look at all the creeps that he's missing under the tower.
Yep. I mean, GeekFam had a good idea how to play this lane. And in terms of CS, you can see that they were doing a good job, but just they've outstepped too far a couple of times. Narman is in trouble, or is it LW?
Oh, which supports the one in trouble? Looks like it is LWW. That's gonna end up going down. Narman, he gets his own solo kill. A little bit of gold, a little bit of experience for the Rubik. Always nice, considering we were saying how strong of a Rubik game it is. Force
Cox
might
did
be
a
in
great job
trouble.
in mid.
Sell it from bottom to top he goes. He's going to be off the mark with the toss, however.
They don't do damage to him. They just don't. He just stands his ground, even as a healing cell, so it'll be fine. But as I mentioned, Cox did a awesome job in the mid lane in terms of CS, and his supports helped him quite a lot as well. So he is not going to be falling behind. But now it's time for EHOME to be wanting to come towards the mid lane, getting sentries, getting wards, and they want to start applying pressure around the Lina.
Big timing to look to utilize. 6 minutes. That first power rune spawn, it's going to be down bottom. Cox won't be able to pick it up. Now might be in trouble as well. Laguna Blade at the ready to pierce through the health pool of the Tusk, but gets some distance away. Toss as well being able to help out, but it's not enough. Lich able to get that last little finishing blow, and EHOME fine. Another big kill.
EHOME are very happy. The side lanes, they didn't lose them. And now, because of that, their heroes can stand their ground 1 versus 1. And when it comes to a fight between 2 supports and a core, even though GeekFam supports are pretty solid at rotating towards the mid lane, Lina is just that much stronger than the Tusk in terms of damage output.
Looks like the Enchantress. Yeah, Xiaoyu's going to look to jump in. Easily cleans up one of the lives, but Cox will rotate. It's a really big kill onto Xiaoyu with how good of a lane that the Marcy's been having so far. And well, they will be able to stop that in its tracks. Now, Skem's got a double wave for free, it looks like. So, great rotation from GeekFam. You know, we saw the importance they were putting on the on the Tusk to make sure he was able to have a good laning phase. And no, he's going to be able to pay that back.
And they're still gonna do it. Look at this. Again, refill the bottle. They're putting everything into him, even giving the kill. Cox understands that he needs to be the one getting those, and they're gunning for more. He's gonna allow the Rubik to go towards the mid lane, and he wants to fight bottom again.
The kill potentially onto Xiaoyu would really put a grave halt to his game. 4th in net worth. The Marcy is someone that does very much struggle if you have a rough lane.
Looking at Xiaoyu, he knows that dying right now would be disastrous, and he's just farming the side camp with the help of the Lich. He knows how much of an issue it will be, but as soon as Cox shows himself in the mid lane, which is now, he is gonna start playing a bit more aggressively.
They won't be set up for the power runes though. As the spawn, Cox gets the haste. See what they want to try and do with this now. Well, what's kind of the play that you might be considering with the haste in the hands of Cox?
TP bot killed the Marcy again.
Do you need to shove another wave?
You definitely do. You definitely do. So that's the time where EHOME can strike. They're going for a smoke. They're trying to be faster than the Tusk himself. Killing the Drow and then losing 1 or 2 heroes. You're going to be okay with that if you're EHOME.
I'm just putting the Hellbear in front of Scam. A little bit of information. In a great position for Roger as well. Is going to be able to scout out the Tiny. Smoke from EHOME won't be able to pay off this time. Armin's even scouting out the duo support, starting to roam back to mid, so GeekFam, they've been able to stabilize what was looking like a bit of a shaky start to this game, in particular this bottom lane.
That should help.
I mean, still, it was Scam getting a ton of CS on the bottom. He was dying. They made those a couple of mistakes. But, you know, 2 ranges against 2 melees, you're always going to be applying pressure and getting more CS. And we can see the big difference right now. Mars, even with those early kills, is not even close to the Drow's net worth.
Not at all. 1,000 difference. Actually, if you can find these killers, I mean, they're still trying. Xiaoyu, such a low level though. Still not even level 6. This wave will give it to him. Maybe they're gonna look.
If he lives.
That's a great point. If he does live.
I think what EHOME are trying to do is force rotations towards the bottom lane. That's most likely not going to happen. EHOME, you can see they want the game to be slower now. If they're fighting, it's going to be around the mid lane. So Xiaoyu knows that he's left on his own. If they get on top of him, there's not going to be any TPs coming. It's just not worth it for EHOME.
Dire's middle tower.
Bottom lane under the tower, Xiaoyu. He's going to move in with the Unleash. They've got the capability to hold him down, and Xiaoyu some trouble, but he does have LWW nearby. What's the call gonna be, Xiaoyu? Gonna be really hesitant and we'll get that jump away, so... First use of the unleash of the game. Xiaoyu not able to get a kill.
I'm really not liking this Zhao not having 1 point in Gust. It puts you in such a vulnerable position against the Marcy. Now when the unleash isn't there, no. But having it once really doesn't hinder your ability to do that much damage or farm. So Scam just being greedy.
I like this a lot from MKS. Continuing to play the lane solo versus Force. He dragged his creeps over to the hard camp, acting as a bodyguard to stop the Mars from being able to contest this pull. There's a lot of gold and experience not going the way of the Mars.
He is starting to get on top of the Mars. He is stronger than him currently, and this is the strength of the Lifestealer. You go, you apply pressure, and then you get the creeps. And that is what he's doing. That's why in the early stages of the game he was struggling in terms of CS, but now his hero is finally doing a good job. Geek Fam with their lanes, the bottom lane, you know, losing the Drow a couple of times and stuff like that. They don't want to be coming towards the top lane in numbers, and they need a big rune for it. A region on the Tusk
lane
definitely
salad.
wasn't it.
Oh, the stolen avalanche from Naaman. Gonna be able to hold back Salad from getting that toss onto the tower. Very nicely done. And more bottom as well. Another use of the unleash from Xiaoyu. This time, he'll get the kill, but the return's gonna be there. Force his first rotation of the game along with the arena as well to put Xiaoyu down.
But that's a top tower with the siege creep. Someone needs to deal with this. The Lifestealer, he might actually just take it down. And that's without the Orb of Corrosion.
Lane. Not the Salad. Knight's even gonna try and bring Cox down. We're gonna have the burst, so Cox is okay. Even has the refill in the bottle now to play with as well.
Are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Top tower is gone.
I'll take that.
Money to burn.
Wow. Alright, that's that one rotation. Send the Mars away, the lane just gets free. I should say the tower gets free with that catapult, so MKS, as Armlet already completed, this Lifestealer is off to an incredible start.
Cox has an Arcane Rune and a Blink. Ideally, you would want to fight, but they have the stack they will clear out first. For a Tusk, Arcane Rune is the best, especially when you have the Blink, so you have the mobility already there. If you don't have the Blink, then maybe the Haste, you could say it's that bit better, but in this kind of scenario, definitely not the case. So, Geek Fam, I would like them to be a bit more aggressive. Once the Marcy gets like a BKB, you get a BKB on the Lina, the potential of Geek Fam falls incredibly low to get those core kills, and then EHOME can just farm, get to a point where Marcy is strong enough to jump on the Drow, and there's not gonna be any saves coming. So I think Geek Fam, they need to put the foot on the gas right now, or in the next couple of minutes.
As you see at the moment, EHOME getting a lot of farm across the map. Into the jungle is Knight, just farming up. Some of the Ancients will be just shy of the BKB, requiring the recipe to complete that one. Geek Fam, they're going to look to smoke. Two members connecting with Roger inside the triangle. Seller's in a pretty good position to give them some information. No one's home at the moment. They might look to wrap all the way around. Roger drops the ward. They see the farming pattern of Knight, though, is a really difficult position for them to be able to move over and bring down this Lina. Might go for the easy kill into Salad instead. Cox blinks over to the left side. Salad hasn't gone down just yet. Is able to get the combination off. They should be able to break him down, but the turnaround, look at the Chain Frost bouncing back and forth. It's so much damage, dude. What a Chain Frost. You couldn't have asked for any better.
Oh, that's really bad. Not only because you lose 4 heroes, the mid lane tower will go down, and Scam is only now starting to push out the top lane. It's not like the lanes are going to be in a good position for Geek Fam to smoke and try to get something out of this once the spells have been used. The EHOME, they get a perfect one. This is like the perfect start to the game for them. And this MKS Lifestealer, he doesn't even care. He gets the creeps down, and now it's Geek Fam. They have to push out the lanes again. Very easy for EHOME to read the map right now.
Oh, that gold injection to the bank gives Knight his BKB. Very good timing out of the Lina, so... I mean, they could look to make another play happen if they want on EHOME. It was more of a reactionary play for them. Maybe they just want to wait actually for Celad's blink.
If the lifestealer is in the bottom lane and you feel threatened in top, which I think is not the case, you can go for the bottom lane tower. But if you're okay with the status quo, they're probably gonna stay farming still. It's looking good for them.
Just Salad won't be able to continue farming. Or support's going to be able to run into him in the river. Even Tusk and Drow pop out of nowhere to help out with the kill. But instantly with 4 heroes showing, we'll see EHOME start to react and get themselves set up for this bottom push.
And the greed of EHOME is not being punished whatsoever. I mean, you lose the Tiny, but look at them. They're on 3 lanes still, 16 minutes into the game, and they're not being punished at all. And you're playing against the Tusk with a Blink Dagger. But it seems like the Enchantress and the Rubik just cannot bring enough damage, and Geek Fam are having damage issues right now. They need way too long for some heroes to die.
Let's see if they want to set up for a defense top. Geek Fam do have a ward by the outpost, so they're able to scout out Salad's TP in. Drop some wards into the tree line. Salad should be able to get the toss back. Xiaoyu was actually just out of range. Gotta be cautious. We saw what the Chain Frost was able to do last team fight. They need to make sure they split up. Cox's gonna do that, but he's running away for the boys. Stolen Laguna Blade. In the end, makes it a 1-for-1. They get the tower as well, and Nama will try and TP out, but that'll be stopped short. Xiaoyu secures the double kill. So in the end, EHOME do come out on top. They have to bring a lot of numbers, though, to be able to try and take that engagement.
You don't mind. You didn't really pop a BKB charge on the Lina. You didn't defend the tower, but with the tier 1 of Geek Fam not being up on top, they can very rarely go very deep towards the top lane because they have no access points. This is a problem. You pick a lineup that should win the lanes, and you don't. And now you're in this situation where you need to get that first kill of the fight, and your heroes are just incapable of doing it. Force gets a blink, so that's gonna change somewhat in these fights, but you still need to get the right initiation. If you don't, the fights are gonna be ending the same way.
They're gonna be able to stop this push. Scam mid lane. Pike and Grobo freely sieging from afar. And EHOME, no one's moved to the area. Very awkward.
Yeah. They
Nice
found
deny.
out it was
What?
the illusion.
How the heck?
He's just way too good. That's how the heck. But, I mean, you can see how Scam is playing. He knows that his team needs him in a push, in a fight, everywhere. If Scam is not there, heroes of EHOME are just not going to die unless they make a huge mistake. And I'm looking at their heroes. I don't even see how big of a mistake it needs to be. How big of a dive? Maybe go into a tier 2 tower and then with a glyph, Geek Fam just do enough. I'll go for the Lina.
Yeah, Knight turns it around though. BKB stands his ground. Couple ultimates expended. Once again though, Laguna Blade is going to get stolen. That is level 2. They could definitely get a pick off here. They're just going to chuck out some abilities onto LWW, and Narman feels forced to use the ultimate. Gotta be cautious though, because Salad's ready with the Infest Bomb. MKS pops out. A freebie for them. A nice little rebuttal.
You could see very cool communication there between EHOME. MKS says, I'll go right, and Salad is like, I go left, and then you make sure that you do not toss your lifestealer. So very nicely done. And they just walk into the pit. Considering that you have a Marcy, this is a possibility for your 4 points in sidekick. The damage output is insane.
Yeah, you got the Deso on MKS as well. I think this is a big reason of why he went this item. To stop Geek Fam from getting that first Roche and getting the ball rolling. Thought this was a game where he might be considering a Halberd to be able to deal with a Drow Ranger and kind of, again, play that more position 2 role, but the Deso just helps him open the map. He's got Shard as well, so yeah. MKS is actually mid lane, jump in. WW is going to make him work for it. Let's see him over the tree line though with that ward place, so another death onto the Lich. It's getting Cox a decent chunk of change though, very close to the BKB on the task.
For sure. Right now for Geek Fam, it's getting the Lina's BKB low. You have to get it done. Her BKB needs to be low at like 30 minutes into the game if you want at that point to start your comeback. Thinking that you're just gonna be winning fights straight up into a Aegis, into a stronger lineup currently, it would be foolish for Geek Fam. So jump in, give a hero, give 2 heroes, get that BKB down, go next. I don't know if it's enough to really win this game. You're gonna have to force some mistakes from EHOME as well, but it's the most you can do right now, so that's what you should be gunning for.
Bottom tower is under attack.
GeekFam, they will need to react to this bottom push.
Structures are fortified.
Reaction's going to come
It's a
through
solo.
from the glyph, but yeah, exactly right. It's just a solo lifestealer. Smoke up. Yeah. They want to look to go. They might be directly on the path to the Drow Ranger if they go towards this triangle.
They thought someone will stop.
Oh, Skem's going to reveal himself.
Top tower is under attack.
Doesn't matter, they're too far away.
Yeah, it's a bit too late right now. When your lifestealer is this farmed with an Aegis, I was like, why didn't they give the Aegis to Lina?
Force?
Yeah, because of this, because
Oh,
they find him?
Yeah, they do. The smoke popped and they just guessed he's on the higher ground. So Xiaoyu's gonna jump up. Salad will pogo stick up as well. Why not? Force was acting as a roaming ward, I suppose, or just a stationary ward for himself, I should say. And a great read. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it does reveal that MKS is alone, unable to get the infest off. He's in a lot of trouble. He used the rage as well. He should be able to go down a second time. Tries to turn. Knight's just going to run into the middle, but he doesn't have the capability to find the ultimate at Geek Fam. They'll only lose one. What a read from them.
Beautiful, beautiful. They took them way too long to kill Force. Man, it was funny there. He's like, I'm the king of the hill. He pushes one with the spear, the other one with the God's Rebuke, and in the end, he's the only one that stays on the ward spot there, dies. But EHOME, what they wanted there was give the Aegis to the lifestealer. We'll always be able to get towards him, but they got a little bit too caught in the moment, killing the Mars, that they left the lifestealer alone, and MKS not reading the situation either. But Geek Fam, they were ready, so very nice move from them.
Reactions from Force, gets that blink away. Radiant in a position to be able to react. Force attempts to spear into Arena. Very difficult with his position, and we're going to see some tips come out from Xiaoyu as well.
For that to happen, you need to blink on top of a hero and spear him, then use the Arena. So, Force, you know, valiant attempt. Not gonna be good enough though. But at least Geek Fam, they are delaying time. That is the big thing. They did go through one other Lina BKB charge. They did kill the lifestealer. The gold lead isn't increasing. They're setting themselves up for success in the later portions of the game. They still need a lot of time to survive for this Drow Rangers to become the big issue. And even then, the Marcy is a big counter.
I'm going to see EHOME though. I'm going to look to try and take the map with the smoke. Again, they might not get anything out of it though. Force and Narman back behind the safety of the tier 2 tower. They're going to see Knight's positioning as well with the Observer Sentry. Reactions are starting to come out. Cell gets a jump in. The turnaround burst is going to be there, but can Radiant still take the team fight? Force doesn't have the Arena to play with. They're going to toss him away. They should be able to deal with Mars with ease, but can they get anything more though? As Skem's going to have to tuck and run.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top
They
tower
were
is
trying to
under
wait for the
attack.
Frost Shield to expire on the Lina, but it lasts for too long, 8 seconds. They were waiting. They jump. It still has 2 seconds remaining, and Drow and the Tusk can bring him down. So that's what Geek Fam were gunning for there, to make sure that they killed the Lina, and they might have been able to do so. Still another BKB charge, but it costs you so much, and it's gonna cost you Roger on top as well.
Oh, it didn't actually go for
Nice
it.
move. Mud Golem gets the stun on Salad, and he knew that his blink was gonna get cancelled out multiple times, so decides not to continue the pursuit.
Alright, all this net worth lead after that fight and objective claim bumped up to 8,000 now. Looks like Geek Fam are trying to get themselves in a position to go for a smoke. They've got a really good ward at Dai's outpost. See if they can look to utilize it though. Arena at the ready. Dire in a great position. Look at LWW. Might be able to pop the smoke. He moves over to the right side. Roger's going to reveal himself. Cox will jump and Force will follow. They're going to try and blow up the live stream, and they will be able to do so. A great start to the fight, but the turnaround might be there as Xiaoyu. They actually want to look to try and TP out. They don't want to take the engagement with one man down. Great toss away from Selid. Gets Knight out of danger. And the shards will just be too late as well. Selid stuck in the tree line. Will they find him though? He's found a little nook and Cox would just run by.
That's a really good jump from them. Even through the Frost Shield, they bring down the Lifestealer. MKS, he has died twice now in this game, and the Drow Ranger is really starting to apply massive amounts of damage. Once you get the Silver Edge, is it flying out right now?
I think so, yes.
Is that the full one? Yeah, okay. Now the damage is real for Scam. You don't really care that much about the Frost Shield either. You're just gonna be breaking people apart. This is looking better and better for Geek Fam. They did go through Lena's BKBs as well. It is now an open game despite an 8k gold deficit.
Lane LWW. Particularly reveal his positioning. Skim's just going to try and address the creep wave from afar, and I feel like this game might slow down now until that second Roche is going to be up. Both sides have been using a lot of smokes to try and find that advantage across the map, and it's still EHOME with this net worth lead. Probably look to see either team just chill, try and find that next set of items, and then get ready for this second Roche.
I think Geek Fam would be happy to fight now, because there is still not a basher on the Marcy, and that is a perfect timing to hit. But no, it's actually going to be EHO. They're not going to be waiting for their enemies. Lanes are pushed out. They have a good positioning, and they want to get a pick off. Good vision around the Roche is something that they would want. So getting a kill right now is very important.
Oh, Salad. Oh, they don't see Skem. Skem's going to be able to duck out of the cover of the invis, but they will be able to bring down Namen.
Turns around.
Forces jumped in. They might be able to take the fight, although there will be no way to follow up. MKS. Offensive use of the BKB. The Rage was used early on as well, but they're okay. Hang on, look at Selid and Knight though. Selid gets a jump. Toss back into the LSA. They find the stunt. Laguna Blade, but the Snowball's going to suck him in. They've kept Skem alive. This is a really difficult fight. EHOME, look how deep you're committing. MKS walking up the high ground, but the shards sets up for the spear. They've got the Frost Shield, but it's not enough. The Skem on the high ground will freely get the damage going.
Oh man, perfect for Geek Fam, the way that they use their spells there to get the Drow Ranger out. First the Force Staff, there was a slight hesitation from Knight. He went for the animation of the LSA, so he didn't get it off onto the Drow Ranger before. Skem was able to force himself to the low ground, and then a beautiful save from the Tusk. Just every single thing there, making sure that Skem survives, and now they want to go for more.
Yeah, and they might be able to find more as well. Look at the damage coming through from Skem. Oh my, alright. Great sequence of events for the boys on Geek Fam, and they're already looking for more. Force is hunting across the map, trying to catch out any members that want to continue to bleed their life. He might be able to find Xiaoyu, but slips over to the high ground through the top side of the map, so instead they might just look to try and put some damage into the tier 2 mid. Lacking some creeps, though. Where are the creeps?
These are one of those situations when you want a little bit too much. They stayed around the mid lane a bit too long, and now the side lanes are going towards them. So Geek Fam won't really be able to make a play on the aggressive, which would be ideal for them, considering that the Roche is spawning. Because they didn't get lucky. Roche didn't spawn earlier, and now Geek Fam have to deal with the lanes. Dealing with the lanes gives an opening to EHOME now.
What does this opening give them in particular? Does it give them to maybe get some wards set up around Roche, get their lanes in a position?
Yeah, get themselves into a good control around the Roche pit. Good wards are there for Geek Fam, and you can see that they're going for it, but they did run over vision.
Go for an easy pick off onto the Enchantress. And nearby though, Geek Fam, maybe considering about trying to get that jump in, but luckily enough for them, Roche is up in 40 seconds, and the Enchantress will be ready to take that fight.
But they'll still have to go now. They don't know it, so they have to go for it, and they have a path towards the mid lane. I like this. That's where you want to catch people. You know that at that point you are stronger.
Oh no! Cox didn't jump straight on top of him. Forces blink is off time as well.
That was a good timing to get the tiny kill. He had a buyback, but
Xiaoyu
still.
is going to get the jump in instantly with Roger respawning, but you've got to be cautious with the snowball. Drags him in. They're all grouped up, and the Chain Frost can go to work along with EHOME's members. Xiao Yu looking more, but we saw what happened last time. They dived too deep, and it's going to happen again. Arena instantly skems follow-up damage, and you can't do that against the Drow. You got to commit or not, and once you go too far and the boys aren't ready to follow up, they're going to be penalized.
It's still EHOME retaining that positioning, and they should be able to take a fight here still. Lina doesn't have a BKB, so EHOME, they would love to go there, but getting the Drow Ranger onto the high ground, it's always very hard. You know that you're gonna lose the positioning, and that's the main thing of this hero. So you can see that GeekFam, even in a 4 versus 5 scenario, no BKB on the Lina, they're super hesitant to go there.
Decisive, it looks like, for EHOME. So the line is drawn to wrap all the way around. They think that GeekFam are back in their own territory. They will be shortly. Hang on, Scan connects. They know exactly where GeekFam are. Playing inside the river. Comes down to who gets the jump and sell it. He went in the Roche Pit instead.
Very nice movements from both teams. Understanding the limits, understanding when the enemies are gonna strike and getting out. Xiao Yu needs 9 more seconds for the BKB. He needs to be careful before that, and we'll be able to wait it out. So both teams now back to full strength. That means GeekFam are not gonna be too happy about it. This Marcy can still be a problem. We saw it in the previous fights. If she jumps on the Drow, it's a good night for Scam. Does he have a dust? Yeah, of course he does.
It is good night for Scam, but there could be that saving potential from Cox. We've seen it a couple times throughout the team fights. Cox has been really on point with that snowball save to keep them alive, and Force is always ready as well to counter-initiate. It'll be perfect. You gotta try and get some information of where the Tusk is positioned, and you can maybe get that jump and blow one person up.
Rubik has the open wound stolen. I like that, because Drow Ranger, you know, you have a BKB now. And imagine if you're fighting someone, you get low, the open wounds comes out, and you heal yourself because of that. That would be really big for Scams, so we'll see if Narman can make good use of it.
We'll jump in, Xiao Yu. Onto Roger. I haven't been able to bring him down just yet until the break comes out from Knight. And a pick off into the Enchantress will give them the numbers advantage now for this Roche engagement. GeekFam, can they play on the high ground? Force is ready. Such a difficult fight for them to take. 4v5 inside Roche. It's never going to be easy. As soon as you walk down, you're going to lose your high ground advantage. As Scam walks on forward inside the river, they'll get the free kill into the Tiny. Arena's going to get layered down. Look at the pit though. They're all falling low. Roche is as well. They're not going to target it. They want to go for the heroes instead. As Scam's going to force the pack into the right side. As Knight will pop. And now they'll go for Xiao Yu. The double spear onto the trees. There's no response as Xiao Yu goes down. Back near the pit though. Can they still get the kills? Salad. Combo's going to be up in a couple of seconds, but it will not matter. It's just to the supports at the moment. EHOME is starting to buy back, but they're going to be too late. Age is picked up. An ultra kill for Scam, and they're already looking for more. Force finds a spear, pins him up. Scam gets the rampage, and GeekFam down the net worth advantage, but not down and out. What a team fight from Radiant.
And GeekFam saw that EHOME were not positioned well. They were kind of breaking the smoke with a Tiny hiding behind the tree there, but they just went straight for him. GeekFam are okay. We are not going to be jumping into the backlines. We're going to kill this Tiny. As they are going for the Tiny with the Tusk and the Drow, the Mars is hiding himself. It's always this way for GeekFam. One guy is jumping in, one other guy is waiting either to catch multiple heroes or to save the Drow. If it's Mars jumping in, it's Tusk saving the Drow. If it's Tusk jumping in, it's Mars jumping into the backlines, and that's what GeekFam did there. They killed the Tiny. They have more than enough damage with the Drow Ranger, and then Arena onto 3. EHOME trying to finish off the Roche, who was like 1000 HP at that point, and Scam staying outside of it, dishing out the damage, killing everyone, in the end even getting a rampage. And the only unfortunate thing for GeekFam, it's not Scam with the Roche, but it doesn't matter. They've overtaken this game, and Scam is too big of a beast. You get a Butterfly, Lina, and the Lifestealer. When are they gonna get their MKBs? Who knows? This is a perfect situation for GeekFam.
Alright, smoke up. Let's see if GeekFam can continue with this momentum. This fight could completely break open the game. We saw a lot of buyback shoes prior.
Double damage.
The DD in the Arsenal scam as well. It's just a target. Oh, that blink timing. Salad gets out.
Beautiful. I'm gonna assume he was gonna blink out anyways, because blinking away from a Rubik who is out of a smoke, that just doesn't happen. So, but if that was a reaction, that's some superhuman stuff coming out from Salad.
What a swing that last fight. Holy crap. Almost like over about 14,000 swing. My oh my. It's a prime position for them to be in. Drow just fire on top of the net worth. Butterfly now completed, just being delivered on the courier. This bottom tower is going to be very difficult to defend. I don't know if they can on EHOME.
If Scam had an Aegis right now, EHOME wouldn't even be able to protect the high ground. But now, GeekFam, they're gonna try to force the enemies back, and then it's gonna be tough to make a decision. You're still gonna be pushing against the ledge. Frost Shield is a problem.
Ooh, alright. Jump in, easy kill. Couple of heroes gonna show, so they're gonna look to move up high ground. The Frost Shield provided to protect the tower. They will back off, happy before some reactions, and still it has a decent chunk of damage on the tower. Top. MKS? What can he do? You know we can't TP up because Cox is already here. MKS to die back on the lifesteal. A very uncharacteristic gameplay from him. Often don't see him getting caught out multiple times, but this game has been an outlier for him.
Yeah, MKS has made some mistakes in this game that that could in the end cost EHOME the game. They had it, and the times he died were like the most important ones. EHOME, they want to make something happen.
At the jump, they got a lot of information. Yeah, he's going to try and target down with the Enchantress, but once again, the Snowball will buy some time. Gonna go deeper and deeper inside EHOME's territory, so they get the kill into one. They want to stick around for the toss, though. They're really hesitant. He is playing with the Aegis advantage. They're able to bring down the first life. But now that Scam and the other boys have shown up, you can't stick around for round 2.
You're still okay. You got the BKB of the Tusk, you got his Aegis down, you killed Roger, you got the BKB of the Drow Ranger, that's an 8-second one as well. So EHOME, that was a really nice play from them. This Enchantress is going for a Dragon Lance. Roger thinking, I have a Drow, I'm gonna be dishing out the damage and not getting the Force Staff first, has cost him a lot multiple times in this game. There are times where he or his teammates would have been able to get out if he just had a Force, but went a little bit greedy with the Dragon Lance.
Oh my lord. A couple times this game, people have been ever so close to getting caught out. Blink reactions.
No outer towers for EHOME. They don't really have big team fight ultis, so you know that's not that big of a deal. But Chain Frost has been a big spell in this game for LW. Not gonna be the case without any outer towers. You're not really gonna find a concentrated fight where that is gonna be great. Lina positioning gonna be quite hard. Now you're gonna have to be relying on jumping onto the enemies without the outer towers. It's always going to be in a positioning better for Geek Fam and you're playing into a Drow. So very, very tough situation for EHOME. They need to keep themselves safe and wait for the next Roche. Maybe around that one they can find a favorable engagement.
How do you keep yourself safe though against his Scepter on Cox, and he's got a Spell Prism as well, so all the ability is going to be lower cooldown and almost level 20 as well.
They're going to have to give some ground to Geek Fam, it seems like, and allow the gold lead to increase even further.
Do they want to take the fight on EHOME? Xiaoyu charging up the higher ground. Gets a jump. Instant assassination, actually not the case. Roger's alive and now forced with the turnaround. It's got the second use of the arena ready to rock and roll. Two heroes just evaporate. Where's the damage going to come through now? Knight's going to run out to the right side. A Chain Frost will kind of slow them down, so EHOME will just be able to escape. But again, their team fights are starting to crumble. We're just seeing a night and day difference towards the tail end of this game one.
As something is wrong with MKS. MKS has been performing so well in this tournament, and now you have an 8-second BKB and the Rage, and you don't pop it. You're greedy with the pop of your Rage for some reason, and because of it, he just dies in that fight without getting anything off. He was infested into the Marcy. That should never happen. And you can now see when Roger has a Force Staff, he actually lives. Of course, it was Cox saving his life there, but yeah, just another beautiful fight for GeekFam. And now EHOME, they're gonna have to delay this push, but making no mistakes, Skem will take this down. And mid lane going down against the Tiny, it's not easy to do because of the toss back, but EHOME, if they get close, well, you're getting kicked back and going down.
Dire's middle barracks.
You see they've got their own ward as well, so if anyone shows, now it's gonna be even easier to see them that it's daytime. It's like it will be a full set of barracks. They're kind of teetering closer.
Dire's middle barracks.
So we're trying to get the jump. Won't be able to.
Only the bottom lane is pushed out for EHOME. They can't even go for a play. So with the connection into the triangle, GeekFam can control the lanes as well as go for a fight. They decide it's time to go for a fight. I actually think that's a good move because there isn't a position on the map that EHOME are gonna have a favorable engagement in.
For the fight to start, it's going to be up to Force, and he's the one on the charge.
Radiant are scanning.
Moving on the Vanguard, Scam as well. Zealot's just going to run blindly into the high ground. He'll be penalized for that. They're already looking for the +1. Potentially onto MKS. They'll get the blink away onto Xiaoyu. MKS can run through the wall as well. He's going to have to try and play off the back of the BKB with the Infest. Xiaoyu should be able to dip out. That's a lot invested again. 2 heroes go down. BKB on cooldown now for the Lifestealer. I wonder if they're going to try and force this high ground.
You don't have to. You have the outpost. You can go for Roche if you know it's up. Though it's a very early Roche, so GeekFam might just be going for buybacks. It's easier that way. No Tiny, no toss back. No really great way for EHOME to start the fight.
It's the call that you jump straight away.
Dire's top tower.
They do see Cox.
Dire's structures are fortified.
If it's going to come out early, so we'll stall this one down. Not going to need the buybacks, but without the Lich alive, these buildings will fall incredibly fast. They're going to lose a full set before he's back up. They got to go. They got to make a play. Can't lose another barrack. Sell with the toss back. They'll target down Roger. Enchantress taken out of the equation, but the Avalanche should be able to cover the retreat as GeekFam. They'll back off the higher ground with only losing 1 member, but they've taken so much across the map.
Scam wants to push out the bottom lane, immediately run towards his team. His team is probably gonna be getting, they're drawing in the triangle. Wait for me there. I'm coming over. They know that speed is gonna be of the utmost importance for EHOME right now, and they're going for it. They have to get there before Scam connects with his team. They might be able
running
to
forward. They will be. Xiaoyu gets a jump onto Cox. But the telekinesis instantly, Cox gonna be okay. Chaos on the high ground, but now Drow has been able to connect. They've got the right click damage. They were designed for the team fight, and the arena, there's nothing they can do. A second use of it, stopping all of Knight's damage. Skem can 4-star forward. Lena's got no response. EHOME have no answers. Once again, another incredible fight. GeekFam, you've got to buy back on 1. You lose the Tusk as well, but Roche is now up for grabs.
That's a shard as well, a refresher shard. I don't think though GeekFam need that one. Looking at their heroes, only the Mars needs it, and he already has the orb. For some viewers might not know, it was changed. The cooldown is shared, so you can't really use the shard if you have the orb as well. So I'm curious to see who they even give it to. Maybe to the Rubik if he steals a good spell. But either way, yeah, GeekFam, they did that perfectly. You could see that they started running in. EHOME were fast. They did everything right as well, but GeekFam are just stronger at this point in the game. So even if you get the right jump at the right time, it's not good enough.
Yeah, I think you could definitely make the argument for the Rubik or the Toss. Toss potentially having double BKB for his initiation. Yep. Maybe he can go even deeper. But yeah, I'd like the... What do they... Oh, Witchbane, nothing crazy. Yeah, I'd like Rubik to have it as well. A lot that he can look to do across the map, but for EHOME, such a large deficit. Salad? Force. He's got his blink. Should be able to find him in the tree line. Spirit the last second. Another member is going to be killed off across the map. 90 seconds without the Tiny.
Yeah. The only reason why he might actually see the light of another day in this game is because you have a Lich on your side. But I think that's the hero that GeekFam are gonna be like, try to jump him. This is super annoying. Man, you do so much damage and still you need like 30 seconds to get the tower down. But the tower is already dead, actually, Iris. If you look at it, it's only 30 HP.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. T3 is going to go incredibly fast.
Scanning.
They're scanning the tree lane. They might just jump straight away. It's a lot to force. Blind Spear off the mark. Use of the arena as well. MKS should be able to get out slightly thanks to the use of the Infest. They'll kick him back in the middle though. And now MKS, nothing he can do with the BKB. The Scotty's going to slow him down, but the damage coming through thick and fast. They've killed off the live steal and more members going to be put in the grave. Beautiful spear from Force, pinning him against the effigy. And Knight will go down as well. And with that, we'll close out game one as Geek Fam. What an incredible performance from them. Down 8,000 gold, I believe, at one stage. But we saw a 14,000 swing off the back of one team fight. And ever since then, they lost no momentum.
And they even lost the laning stage. It should have gone their way. And you could see there were some individual mistakes in the laning phase. But when it came down to understanding what their team is good at, and that is just playing around this Drow Ranger and Skem always keeping a good position. He only died in the lane. That's it. Skem didn't die a single time after that one, and they knew we keep the Drow Ranger safe. She dishes out the damage. The rest of us, we are just there to survive long enough so that Skem can do his job. And that is exactly what they went for every single time. They didn't jump for any important heroes. They didn't care who it was. As long as it was someone who was in Drow Ranger's range, they went for it. So Geek Fam, just beautifully done. At some point, of course, around that Roche, a big opening was made. And as you mentioned, a really big gold swing happened because Geek Fam, they set everything up so nicely. And then when it came down to it, they didn't make any mistakes. They go to one lane, they immediately connect with each other, and they don't allow EHOME any openings after they took the lead. So very, very nice performance in the mid game overall from Geek Fam.
Yeah, very much indeed. We just saw how kind of clean some of their team fights were. And a lot of it was set up from that snowball save on Tusk multiple times, and then ever since then, it was just very difficult for EHOME ever to find an opening. The vision game from Geek Fam was incredible, and it puts us in a position now where EHOME, they've been putting a lot of emphasis onto the back of Knight. This position 2 always been given over the leaner in multiple games in a row. That was a big reason of why they're able to take down Geek Fam 2-0 in the group stage in that best of 2. And well, now this time it's not going to pay off. So we'll see if they've got a different strategy. We'll see if they even just go back to the same strategy, if they're going to double down and feel like this leaner still has what it takes to be able to topple Geek Fam. But all our questions soon to be answered after the break.